It is 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock here in Texas, and it is 4 o'clock on the eastern seaboard of the United States, and it's a different time somewhere else. That's just the way it is. Hey, Randy E. Bishop here, and I know people are probably even just finding out that this is coming on, but songwriting process. This is what I do every Monday at 3 o'clock, live streaming. So today, just thinking about what to do, and I think what I'm going to do is take you through. Actually, I'm going to let you into me. I'm probably not going to just talk like I often do, but I'm going to start building a track based on a song that I sang. Started to write a couple weeks ago, the one for me, and so we went through kind of the chord chart, how that came to be. We went through sitting down and writing lyrics, and just considering what to do today. I just thought what I'm going to do is just start the process of building this song, recording wise, building it, see and get some process things going there. So welcome. If you enjoy the video, please do me a favor, hit like, hit share it with all your peeps, maybe start a watch party for yourselves, and if you really enjoy the content, there is a button at the top in the description with a tip jar. If you'd like to hit that, I'd appreciate it. So without any further ado, let's go into where we're at. So the one for me is a song that started to write a couple weeks back, and I've decided before going live that this song would be kind of based on my nylon string guitar and maybe some piano. So originally it was roses are red, violets are blue. I once was lost till I found you. You're the one for me, baby, you're the one. So I'm just going to start recording some parts, and so I got out my trusty Taylor acoustic. There you can see the Taylor logo. It's a nylon string guitar. Kind of sounds different than a steel string guitar. I just decided that I think this would be a good sound for this. So I pulled up my handy dandy sequencer and recording software, and I'm ready to do. So one of the first things I have to do is just kind of determine my tempo. One, two, so I usually go up here and tell it that I want to tap the tempo in. Roses are red, violets are blue. Okay, and I tap a few times. It usually gives me a tempo, and then if I start to play this, it'll give me a click track that I can play to. Now, what I've already determined is this is just a little too fast for me, so I'm going to change this. It kicked it in at 84 beats a minute. I'm going to go ahead and make it 80 beats a minute and see if that doesn't make me feel a little better. So see, that makes me more happy, kind of where I started to do the song. So now what I do is just literally I go in and play a little bit of the part, and I'm all ready. So I'll hit record and give it 2 bars, and I'll play a little bit of it. Roses are red, violets are blue. I once was lost till I found you. You're the one for me, baby, you're the one. usually where I start. And I do that because I'm building. So I want to say, hey, I see some people are watching. Nice to see you. I saw Stuart was on here. Hey, Stuart, how are you? And I saw Shauna sign in earlier. Caught Marla watching. Hey, Franklin and his little boy is watching. And I didn't catch everybody else. Did I see Susie on there too? Maybe. Anyway, glad you're with me. So now it's really easy. I've got this part. And what I do usually is build section at a time. So I just make it so that I can hear this track. And for some reason, it's deciding that it's not happy and doesn't want to do it. So why so? You know, a good friend of mine back in Fort Wayne used to tell me those who live by electronics die by electronics. And some days, that's exactly how it feels. Anyway, this is telling me that it's processing something, which is odd. I don't have anything else open, really, to speak of. But it's kind of slowing down my computer, so I'll have to check that out here in a little while. But anyway, yeah, hey, Stuart says hi. Hey, Stuart. Gosh, it's been a long, long time. So, hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing good. So anyway, while this is going, one of the things I thought about earlier is I think that maybe I would want to do a piano part. And so I was thinking about the piano part, and I thought to myself, well, you know, what exactly would I be doing? And so I sat down for just a little bit of time, and this is telling me, okay. Okay, sorry about that, but hey. So again, just playing in the same key. So the idea that I came up with is, you know, it's kind of boring if you start a song. It's kind of boring just to play a couple chords. There should be something going on. So one of the things I did was sat down and said, okay, if it's just an intro, usually you want to hear something going on. And so I came up with doing kind of an arpeggio and going, you know, and so now all of a sudden there's some movement. And I kind of like that. So now it gives the intro a little bit of a melody. It's But then I thought about it a little bit, and I'm going to be honest, I think the bass line needs to change, because I've been doing... And I think I'm going to change the bass line to move with this new melody. Now it kind of drives right into the verse, and so... computer's still hanging up. I don't know why that's happening. It's telling me that something's in the background making something happen. So in the meantime, I'm writing this idea. But that kind of sounds, you know, a little sparse. So I harmonize it. So now that'll be a nice intro, along with, you know, playing the guitar track. So together those are going to be a nice little intro for me. And then I'll start building from there. Guys, I really got to tell you, I'm kind of surprised at my own software. So let me save this, and then I'm going to actually close it and reopen it just to see if I can get the thing to reset a little bit.
Mark Payne's here.
Oh, is Mark here?
Yes.
Hey, how are you, Mark?
Hello, Mark Payne.
That is awesome to hear. Awesome to hear.
My friends from high school, Robichaud.
Ruby?
Roby.
Roby.
And Jonathan Goldberg.
And Jonathan Goldberg. And that's on your share, right?
That's on my side, yeah.
Well, that's very cool. Welcome to all of my wife's friends. Good to see you. Well, I'm not seeing you, but good to have you. I'm glad you see me. I tried to convince my wife that she should come on and be on camera with me, but she's shy, as you all know. That's not true. That's just not true. Okay. Okay, here we go. So, this is what I recorded. Okay, and that now I can build from there. So, piano-wise, what I normally do is I go ahead and I make sure that I'm recording a MIDI track, but in this particular instance, just for the getting the experience down here today, I've got this already, and I'm just going to see what I can do to play. I don't normally play live piano parts. I normally make MIDI data, which my wife is about to do the question and answer with me. What is MIDI data? That's what she was going to say.
Yes.
Ever since about 1983, when synthesizers were at their really beginning to take hold and take shape. I mean, they'd been around for quite a while, but the manufacturers got together and created a general spec. Then they called it MIDI, Musical Instrument Digital Interface, and then they installed it on all of their new synths. And what it did is it created common connectivity, so that I could be playing a keyboard manufactured by Korg, and if you had a keyboard manufactured by Yamaha, I could connect a cable and end up playing the sounds on your Yamaha keyboard. So now MIDI has just allowed us, all these years later, gosh, it's been a lot of years too. What is that, 37 years? Really, we sequence with it where we create data. We can run lighting with it. We do all kinds of things with the MIDI spec. It's pretty incredible. So yeah, I normally, when I play in a part on my keyboard for anything, whether it's a string part or a synth part or drum programming, I do everything using MIDI data, and I do it right here, right down here. You know, just and whether it's a piano part or I'll just show you so that you understand what I'm saying. It could be a brass line. You know, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. If I'm doing, it could be bass lines. I could be doing I could be doing, you know, I could be drum programming. So that's what MIDI does. MIDI data does is allows us really lots of creativity. So, okay, so enough of that. So like I said, I don't normally play MIDI stuff live, but I'll see what I can do here. It's one of those days where my gear's not gonna let me do anything. This is where it'd be great if Carrie was online with me, then she could like tell you guys a joke or something. Wouldn't that be great, Carrie?
Sure.
No. I'm going to close this again. In fact, I'm going to close the whole program down because for whatever reason, I have some little buggy thing happening today. So yeah, just because I got to do this and let this start. That's really the way I start to build then. In all these different songwriting process videos, you've seen kind of different stages, right? And I've explained some stages. I really wanted to get in. I don't know what the problem here is, but we'll continue opening and shutting until we do. But, I took...
part of the process as well.
Yeah, it is sometimes part of the process. But I took you from where I used to get on the phone when I'm just... we'd be in the car. Sometimes it's running around here in the house. I've in the middle of a store, grabbed my phone because I'm singing something, and I sing into the voice memo, and that's usually the start of most songs. Sometimes it's just sitting around playing guitar. Could be, I know a couple of the songs, one that I worked on that I actually did, I think we referenced it a few weeks ago, was a song that I did kind of between church services at church. Getting ready for the second service, had about an hour, and I was sitting on the stage, nobody was there, had my guitar, and just started, I'd been thinking some things and just started sitting and singing and playing some ideas, and I thought I better get out my phone. So I got out my phone and just sang some ideas into the phone. That's usually how it all starts, and then it comes down to the process of, coming home and working out some more guitar things, different changes, sitting down with my software and saying, okay, I better type out the words, or maybe I only sang la 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 la, which happens a lot because I have a melody idea. Sometimes it's getting into the sequencer and saying, okay, where are we going, how are we starting, what are we going to do here, and then starting to build. I rarely start at the computer. I almost always start right here. And sometimes not even right here. Sometimes it's just playing and singing and then having to remember it until I can get to my phone, which is never fun, trying to remember something that you did.
I think you should have an album of shower songs.
Okay, my wife says, if you didn't hear that I should have an album of shower songs, because she's usually there when I'm going, bring me my phone, because in the shower, I sing a lot in the shower. I mean, how many, by a show of hands, I can see out there, that was a joke. Anyway, I sing a lot in the shower, and I really probably ought to just turn on the voice memo and just sit it on the sink or something, and it'd probably be amazing how many albums could probably be written right there. All right, well, this is up again, so let me see if I can. Okay, so let me see if I can play a little bit of what this would sound like. Okay, well, that was a bad start. Here we go. 2, 3, and... So that was, I just did the one part because honestly I'm not that good of a keyboard player, and I know a lot of people will disagree with me. Okay, so now I have an idea. Okay, so how do I play? I can do this better. Sometimes you just have to try a couple times. Now, that's exactly what I was thinking before, and now you can hear it all together because I just did it, so that's cool. Now the neat part is, then sometimes I say, wow, you know what would be really cool? It would be really cool if that ended up going to a synthesizer or something, and played like a string line. Okay, cool. So then I usually have a lot of different things open, and if I don't have something open like strings, then I just come over here and I open up something, and I say, okay, I'm looking for strings. Oh, session strings right here in my software. So I go in here and I open up some session strings, and I say, hey, I want it to be kind of a legato sustain. Okay, something nice and long, and double check what channel it is, and I say, okay, I need to be on MIDI channel 9. Okay, and then I tell it, hey, I want you to go to the main output, and for whatever reason it's deciding not to do it. Why is that? Today I'm having trouble. That's just all it is to it. But okay, I'm softwared out. I don't fight software, not in public. So yeah, I will double this line. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Since the software is not going to do it for me, we are going to do it right here. And I'll do it by finding a string line, which I'm pretty sure I went past back here. Right there you go, okay? I think I'll take it down the octave. So it would sound like this. So now, here we have it. Okay, there you go. Now we've got a nice intro, and then I say to myself, wow, what else can I do? Well, you know what? One of the things I really like having is I just like having a shaker. The shaker is one of my favorite things to have on a track, and it's easy. Just as a timekeeper, you don't get too over audio. You know, it doesn't fill my head. The audio doesn't fill my head too much. There we go. So then I add some shaker. Now all of a sudden I'm starting to build, starting to take some shape. This is cool. Gives me a place to go. If I want to add a little bit of rhythm, I'll go ahead and maybe put a kick drum in, just something that'll give me a little how do I want this to go, where do I want it to head. So I don't want a big thuddy kick drum. You know, something soft, and I'll just keep layering. You know. So I'm going to turn off that metronome that you hear a lot, and then this is what it sounds without a metronome so far. Okay, so this is what it's about. It's just the process of creating something, and now I got another idea. You know, I grabbed my Taylor GS Mini bass. It's a little acoustic bass that I picked up a few months ago, and I'm gonna grab it, and I'm just gonna go ahead and make a bass track. Just something a little easy. And I don't want it to be too, running around. Just the real basics. Because for now, we're just kind of building the track and getting an idea. And so I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say, okay, hey, I need to have right here, and going to go out to the bass guitar track. Okay, and here we go. All of a sudden I have a little bit of a bass line, and I just keep growing. I just keep building this track. It's just about layers. It's just about starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, or create a light, at that point. So yeah, we can go back to the beginning, and you say, okay, how's this all fit together, and see what it sounds like here. So I mean, it only makes sense at this point, so that I kind of know where I'm heading. I'm off camera at this point. I'm just putting my bass guitar down somewhere here, so that I know where I'm heading. Sometimes I'll just go ahead and pick up the microphone and say, okay, I just need to get just enough idea to know where I'm heading. So. Yeah, I can tuck in there. There we go. So then I just at least sing one verse, and that way when I cut and paste, I can go. So I'll just do it this way. Roses are red, violets are blue. I once was lost till I found you. You're the one for me. Baby, you're the one. Okay, and now I've got at least a scratch track, and oftentimes that'll be the only thing I listen to for quite a while. But there you go. That's how building this whole track starts to sound.
Roses on the red, violets on the blue. I once was lost till I found you. You're the one for me. Baby, you're the one.
There you go. That's the beginning of how this thing sounds, and I hope that makes sense. I hope that I hope you can see how it's in a lot of ways. I once was talking to a friend of mine, and I said it's a lot like baking or cooking. A lot of times it's just layers. It's just adding ingredients so that you have something very palatable by the time you get to the end. And that's really what it is. Now, will all of these things stay this way? I doubt it, honestly. Maybe even not even the piano part. That may be something that just doesn't click. I may go, yeah, it's contrived, but it might give me an idea to go somewhere. And that's what's really important, is all of this is about the process. It's about building, it's about putting it into something that then sparks new creativity, new ideas. And that's what I do all the time, is just coming up with the new ideas, or it's about building. I was playing some old files the other day, digging around to try to work on some things to get out to music library. And I was listening to things, and Carrie was saying, wow, you're a genius. I'm like, not a genius. You just go through the process and you do a lot of stuff. And that's what I did, is I just do a lot of stuff. So that's how that works. The next phrase, next thing sometime is just, is you might add some background vocals, might just add maybe a keyboard pad. Sometimes if I'm getting real, like, I don't know what the song's going to be, I might get in, do some little percussion loop things, definitely a lot more drum programming and things like that, but that's how it works. So I hope you enjoyed spending a few minutes with me. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've enjoyed it, please hit like, do me a favor, hit share, and maybe do a watch party. And if you really enjoyed it and you'd like to leave me a tip, there is a link right at the top in the description, so I would appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I will see you Thursday right here for a little mini concert, do some songs for you that I've written, and sometimes I'm using my looper, sometimes I'm just singing. You just never know. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day. Take care.